This video is designed to show how to use the Gnosis aggregation feature. In aggregation, we're actually going to take a large set of data and filter it and basically merge it together in a specific fashion. So in this scenario, what we're going to do is we're actually going to find all of the different manhole types and get a count of how many exist. So in this record, we submitted a manhole type 1. But if we scroll down here, we submitted a manhole type 3. So for all 64 of these records, we want to do a count of how many type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on there is. So what we're first going to do is add a record set to our Dataflow and call this Aggregation Aggregation types. And it's going to add our new record set there. And what we're going to do next is actually copy one of these entries and save it so we can pass it to our Gnosis aggregation function. So I'm going to choose the aggregation types, and then under Data Refinery you're going to see two options, a filter or an aggregation. In this scenario we're just going to do an aggregation, so we can choose aggregation, and we're going to load some sample data, so that's why I copied that record from earlier. Then we want to go into our configuration screen, and we're going to see a couple things here. So first we're going to see a field we want to group by. So in this scenario we want to group by o.manhole, which is effectively the type that we have. And then down here we want to give this a name. So I'm going to call this type count. And then what is the aggregate type you want to use? You can get an average, your own max, merge, min, sum, anything along those lines. In this example we're going to do value count, which is going to count the number of times a specific data point exists. So how many times type 1 exists, or how many times type 2 exists. And then what field do you want to aggregate? So I'm going to just choose manhole here. And then when I hit add aggregate, it's going to basically format our function for us. And on the preview, we can just hit run preview to see what our output's going to look like. So our key of type 1 exists one time, which is correct for this one record we're using. So that's it really for the aggregation. Again, you want to specify what you want to group by, then specify I want to use type count, the value count, and what field you want to count. So we can just submit and save this. Now at this point what we want to do is run all 64 of these records through the aggregation and look at the results. So we can go into record set here and choose manually rerun data and say I want to rerun just two aggregation types, and I want to rerun all 64 records. So I hit rerun. Now we're going to see it's sending the data directly into this aggregation types section. So we're going to choose that, and I'm going to scroll right down, and I'm going to see here's all of our type 3s, our type 4s, 1, 2, and 5s, as well as other, and all of our blanks, our nulls. So again, we can see our key of type 3 has a count of 23 entries, 9, 11, 10, and so on. So again, as new records are added to this, it's going to increase the number inside of here. So if we submit a type 3, it's going to throw out 24 here next time. So again, this is a continuous aggregation once it is set up once. So again, this is how you perform aggregation within Gnosis. Thanks for watching.